Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be talking about Arsenal's 1-0 win over Ipswich Town. Um, there will be a lot of people who I imagine aren't super excited about the result. It'd probably be nicer to win by more goals against a team like Ipswich. I'm actually fairly happy with how the game went. I think it would have been nice to score a few more goals, but 1-0 win is fine. It gets the job done. I don't think Ipswich really looked that threatening for the most part in the game. Like, I don't know if Arsenal ever looked like they were going to drop points. Um, and so even though it's not the most convincing of wins, I think that they controlled the game pretty well and they got the goal they needed, and a 1-0 win then is fine. It's a win that puts us into second now. Still a long way to go to catch Liverpool. One thing that did worry me about this game was, once again, there were a few pretty big errors in defense. One right to start the second half, which Ipswich didn't capitalize on. And I do think there were a few moments where Ipswich could have had an attacking opportunity and they just didn't know, they didn't look like they knew what to do with the ball when they had an attacking area. And they were really hesitant and struggled to really get anything done. And if I'm being honest, and I don't really want to say this because it's really refreshing to see Ipswich in the Premier League, and I hope they stay up. They just didn't look like a team that is going to be in the Premier League next season, at least based on that attacking performance. Because again, they just didn't look very assured when they had an attacking opportunity and struggled to really do much with the ball. Uh, the other thing I want to talk about, Jesus continued to look good, or at least he had a nice finish. I mean, he didn't hold his run, but he did have a really impressive finish, even if the goal was called offsides. That from the almost having the ball out of bounds for a goal kick, he manages to nutmeg the goalkeeper and somehow get it across the goal line, which is a pretty impressive finish. Unfortunately, it was offside, so it didn't mean anything. But Jesus all of a sudden is looking pretty good, and hopefully this can continue. I'd like to see Jesus at his best again, because when he was at his best, he was quite an important part of Arsenal, even if it was only for a few months in 2022. Um, One last thing is Magala's had a clear-headed opportunity on the corner. Arsenal still looked pretty good on corners, but this one, everything worked perfectly. Magala's had a clear header and headed it wide, which he never does. Um, that would have been nice to score, but everyone misses from time to time. Uh, so I guess what I'm saying is it's been a pretty solid game. I think Arsenal did more than enough. They got the job done. I don't think they looked that threatened to concede ever. And once they got the goal, it was fairly clear sailing, even if they only ended up winning by that one goal. So I am fairly happy with the result. Still a lot of work to do now with Liverpool, probably 9 points ahead. Only six right now, but they have a game in hand. Um, so we pretty much need to be perfect from here on out. So getting 3 points is always important, and I think we did enough today. So I'm I'm happy with the result.